Good Monday morning. Glad you are joining us as we start looking at the book of Leviticus. The book of Leviticus is one of those books that's kind of hard to understand, or should I say hard to read through, because there's a lot of details that are given as according to, as we see today, sacrifices and festivals and rules and the laws, and often it can be misunderstood. We're going to be going through it quickly, 27 chapters in 2 weeks. So we're going to be hitting multiple chapters a day. I've grouped the chapters by theme. So the first 3 days we're looking at today are voluntary offerings. And I'll go through one of them and then talk about some of the others as well. I really am going to rely on you reading more of the verses as well, the rest of it, so that you have a better, fuller understanding of the chapters, I should say, that we are looking at. A little bit of background on Leviticus. It was written by Moses. The word of the Lord, as we see, spoke to Moses and to Aaron and to the priestly line. It was a rule for the Levites. The people who were to serve in God's house, the priest line and the others that were to serve and to offer sacrifices and to be the high priest, all of those things. It is mostly instruction. There's a little bit of narrative in there, but most of it is instruction that God gives to Moses and to the Levites, to the priest. We're going to read the first 9 verses of Leviticus chapter 1, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. The Lord called Moses and spoke to him from the tent of meeting, saying, "Speak to the people of Israel and say to them, when one of you brings an offering to the Lord, you shall bring your offering of livestock from the herd or from the flock. If his offering is a burnt offering from the herd, he shall offer a male without blemish. He shall bring it to the entrance of the tent of the meeting, that he may be accepted before the Lord. He shall lay his hand on the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him. Then he shall kill the bull before the Lord, and Aaron's sons, the priests, shall bring the blood and throw the blood against the sides of the altar that is at the entrance of the tent of the meeting. Then he shall flay the burnt offering and cut it into pieces. And the sons of Aaron, the priest, shall put fire on the altar and arrange wood on the fire. And Aaron's sons, the priest, shall arrange the pieces, the head and the fat, on the wood that is on the fire of the altar. But its entrails and its legs he shall wash with water. And the priest shall burn all of it on the altar as a burnt offering, a food offering with a pleasing aroma to the Lord." A lot of details in this, isn't there? And these details shouldn't be surprising. After all, we just spent like 2 weeks talking about the tabernacle, how it was to be built, how it was built. These details are specific to bring obedience, to show the need for obedience for God's people, for the priest especially, on how they were to offer this. It is a reminder to us that our services should be orderly and in good fashion as well. This burnt offering was, if it's from the herd, in other words, a bull. It also, he talks about if the offering is from the sheep, from the flock, how it should be done, or the goats, if it's pigeons. It talks then in the 2nd chapter about grain offerings, part of which would be kept for the priest for them to eat, and also peace offerings. These 3 offerings, the offering of the burnt offering of the animals, of the grain offering, the peace offerings, they were all voluntary. They were not required of the people of God, but they were able to offer these sacrifices. Why would they do that? It's kind of like now in the modern church, when someone gives an offering to the church in thanksgiving for the blessings that God has given to them. Maybe it is a blessing of a child or a grandchild. Maybe it's a blessing that God has given to them through their work, through abundant harvest, through a bonus, for whatever reason. Maybe it's God delivering them from some kind of illness where we respond, not required, but to show thanks to the Lord for all he does for us through an offering. That's what these burnt offerings and the grain offerings and the peace offerings were to be. Giving thanks to the Lord for what he has done for the people of Israel. May we also offer of what we have to the Lord in thanksgiving as well. May God bless us today. We'll see you back tomorrow as we look at chapters 4 and 5. God bless.